I kind of blanked out, but my boyfriend said that Jimin, J-Hope, and them were laughing at me. I don't know what happened. All I saw was Tae got up, and I just looked over to him and reached for a handshake, and he was very kind enough to give me a handshake as well.
Hey, it's Brian. Meet Rosan, aka xCeleste, an Armenian YouTuber whose videos have been watched by literally millions of people.
Sup Squad, welcome back to my channel, and I'm here with amazing dancers. So today I'll be summarizing the Bangtan universe.
Stick around to hear all about a hilarious encounter she had with the boys, and learn how BTS inspired her to follow her dreams, even when people in her life told her it wasn't realistic. This is Speak Ourselves. So could you tell me how you discovered K-pop in 2006 and then eventually found BTS?
I used to live in Alaska, and I guess we were really diverse in my middle school. And so what happened was I used to watch a lot of anime, and there was an ending OST of the anime called Inuyasha, and it was Every Heart by BoA. I think I was about like 14 years old. And at that time, I had no idea that BoA was actually Korean until I kept singing it every time when I was in like the cafeteria. And my friend was like, oh, did you know BoA is Korean? And there's this like whole like K-pop genre that I could show you. And so she gave me her like DVD of all these old artists like H.O.T, Baby Vox. And so from there on, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Well, at that time, I'm guilty. I actually didn't know about Korea. Like, I only knew about Japan, and so it just blew my mind. Then a boy band called DBSK or Tongbangshinki or Tohoshinki just, you know, really sucked me in. That was my first like boy band that I got into. Not a lot of people were into K-pop around that time, but
Yeah, you're like ahead of the curve.
thanks to my friends though. You could say that back then I was basically like an SM stan, because BoA, DBSK, Super Junior, all of them were under SM, and at that time I was really into EXO, so you could say I was an XOL. And my sister though, because she's also into K-pop, she was like, hey man, look at this boy group that I found that I really love. And she first showed me the video Bulletproof Part 2 Dance Practice, and I was like, wow, they were like the first group that I ever saw that was like super in sync when they were dancing. They had like super sharp, complicated moves. But then I started watching more of like little scenes of them on like Bangtan TV, and I ended up giving into their personalities. That's what really brought me in, was their personalities. They seemed really raw, down to earth. They didn't seem filtered on these Bangtan TVs, because you would see idols, they would act a certain way. And you know, that's understandable, they're trying to keep an image, but with Bangtan it was just another thing, you know.
You have said that you never found an artist who has impacted you like BTS has, and I'm curious to know about their impact on you.
They are a source of like happiness and entertainment. They brought something new that I felt like the Western market didn't bring, like singing, dancing, the outfits, the style. But then I never really thought of it more than that. You know what I mean? Like, I just saw them as entertainment and fun. But then when I started to really dig into BTS and their lyrics, I honestly, for the first time, felt like I never really tried to look into myself and to learn more about myself, and also just society. You know, there are things that when I was young, I didn't really think about when it came to like society, grown-ups, school, and BTS made me open my mind to that and to see things. And I've never had an artist really make me feel like that before. It was just life-changing for me, to be honest, and I felt like they've helped me grow into the person that I am now, and they continue to do so. So they're amazing.
What you do, you know, making YouTube videos and having this presence online it takes a lot of guts, and you really have to kind of be your own person and have courage to do that. It's really scary. Do you think that being a BTS fan and having their music impact you has helped you in your career in that way?
For sure. I honestly could say that I got the courage to do what I want to do because of BTS. And they are, I always use them as an example as well, or I remind myself that anything is possible. But also, yeah, it was tough because, you know, people wanted me to do things that was like, I would say, realistic and safe. And of course, you know, being an influencer or YouTuber is not really like the safest career route, but BTS has really inspired me to push forward and become who I want to be, which is like an entertainer, content creator, and so far doing decent. But honestly, I don't think I would have gotten this far without them. So
I know that you've met BTS and you have a really funny story about what happened involving the video game Overwatch.
At that time, I was playing a lot of Overwatch, and I knew that Jungkook and Tae were also playing Overwatch at that time. And this was in California at A.R.M.Y. I was able to be a seat filler, so we're in like a little pit to cheer for the artists. The boys were literally sitting in the front, and in order for me to use the bathroom or to drink water, I would have to pass right in front of them. And so what happened was, my boyfriend had the courage to come up to R.M. and Jackson, who were talking in the corner, because he loves Jackson. He asked for a handshake from Jackson, and of course, you know, he can't forget R.M. because R.M. needs those handshakes too. So he went over and shook R.M.'s hand too. That kind of gave me the courage to be like, you know what, I should just at least say hi to them, you know, something short. And what really brought me in was when I was walking past them, I saw J-Hope look and smile at me, and I think that's what really brought me in. But in the moment, I was like, wait, I need to say something impactful, something different, because, you know, I'm sure they get a lot of like, oh my god, I love you so much. So in my head, I don't know why, I just wanted to ask if they were still playing Overwatch. But, you know, in that moment, my brain was just not functioning, and only one word came up. So I came up to them with like two hands and like, Overwatch, and I kind of blanked out. But my boyfriend said that Jimin, J-Hope, and them were laughing at me. I don't know what happened. All I saw was Tae got up, and I just looked over to him and reached for a handshake, and he was very kind enough to give me a handshake as well, and I just left after that. I felt like I was going a little bit too far with that handshake, and I screwed up by just saying Overwatch, but as long as they left, I guess. So
I feel like you can have like everything planned in your head of what you're going to say, but then you meet them, it's like gone.
You completely blank out, you overthink, and if you can somehow mutter out a word, that's good for you, right? If
you had the opportunity to have more time with them, do you know what you tell them? Would you like what you do? Like, do you have any idea?
I did want to talk to them as if they weren't really idols. You know what I mean? I think that's the reason why I brought up like Overwatch, is because I want to talk to them as like people, humans with like hobbies and stuff like that. I do want to say like they've been an inspiration to me and like millions of people around the world, and I do want to thank them. And then I want to throw in that random question. I'm like, you guys, you know, what video games are you guys playing now?
So your YouTube videos have been seen by tens of millions of people, and I'm curious, what are some of the best experiences you've had since starting a YouTube channel and focusing more on K-pop and then BTS?
Well, the best experience is just, you know, there are videos that do take forever to edit, literally sometimes months, because I'm a perfectionist and I just want things a certain way, so I re-edit it. But honestly, it's just the feedback that I get from everyone, especially when they come back and say, I became an ARMY because I saw one of your videos. And it's just the fact that they say it's because of me. I don't want to take credit, you know, it's the boys, it's BTS, but the fact that I was some sort of step to getting them closer to becoming an ARMY makes me very like happy, and I felt like all those hours editing was totally worth it, and that's what's helping me continue to make all these videos and to continue YouTube, because it's just, honestly, it's just ARMY and the fans, all the love they give me.